Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Sacred Union Energy Update. First, I just want to say thank you to everyone who sent me a comment, a message, an email about the recent Ascension, Ascension Relationships Energy Update. I had intended on making that a Sacred Union Energy Update, but it ended up being a more in-depth, higher level Ascension channeling with regards to Twin Flame counterparts and including my own personal experiences, a personal share. So you guys shared that you are in the exact same space, that you are feeling that energy, that you are resonating so much with those readings, and I can't even thank you enough for that confirmation. So many of you have also been in communication, in reunion, in contact with your counterparts, which is just simply amazing and incredible and just further validates it. I had an amazing session with a friend today, and she just reminded me through that session the importance of this work. And sometimes, throughout my journey, I really came to a place where I doubted myself. I doubted myself a lot. And part of that full circle moment that I was experiencing yesterday or the other day, as I shared in that channeling, which I'll link in the description box if you missed it, was coming to a place of almost like a new beginning within myself. Almost like I had to go through this journey in order to return to the love. And that's what this journey is all about, period. It's about understanding what true unconditional love really is. And sometimes you have to go through the journey to come home to yourself. You have to go through a journey in order to come home to your connection to God, your connection to yourself, your connection to each other if you're with a counterpart. So it's really validating for me, and I'm going to speak more on that in the near future. But right now, I did want to do just a quick check-in. I am very tired. I know I feel like I say that repetitively lately. I have just been so busy, and then the energy just knocks me through it. I just go through it. I do want to do a check-in though, and then I think that's going to be it for the weekend. I have a busy weekend ahead. So hang in there with me. Okay, let's see what's going on with the Divine Masculines and the Divine Feminines. I'm going to start with the tarot here. There is a lot more that I want to say. I had further understanding and further revelations within myself of everything that I had shared previously in that channeling. So there is much more that I want to say on it. But for now, we're just going to channel for the DM, the DF, see what's going on here, just as a general check-in, just to kind of see where the energy is, just to kind of get a baseline going into the weekend. And then next week we'll do some more in-depth channeling, and I'll share some more of my personal insight and revelations. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for your community, for validating my own experiences, confirming my own experiences, and for really just, I want to say the support. I really do want to say that the support, not just of me, but for each other on this journey. I think that we have to go through, especially as Divine Feminines, this period of doubt in order to find that energy of trust. To really anchor in that energy of trust within ourselves. And I think that's one of the core lessons for us on this journey. It certainly has been of mine. There are so many times that I could have quit doing this. So many times where people didn't believe in me, or I didn't believe in myself, where I doubted everything that I was doing. But I just kept coming back to this place of trust within myself, knowing that I connect so fully to God when I'm doing this work, and that this is part of my heart. And so to have that just reflected back in beautiful ways in understanding that I'm helping people along their own journeys to find their paths, or to trust their own intuition, or to empower themselves. It feels not just worth it, but it feels it just feels like an honor. I don't know how else to say it. It just really feels like an honor. And this feels like part of me. This job is not just a job for me. I wake up every day and I do this, and sometimes it gets a little bit draining and tiring. But I wake up every day and I do this, and it's just part of me. It's part of my heart. And, I've been doing this my whole life, just only with the cards for the past 5 years. But I've been doing this essentially for my entire life. And I just didn't realize it as such, or it wasn't in such a focused way. So this feels like just a part of me and a part of my heart and a part of my journey. And I'm finding myself very, very grateful for all of you, for all of this, and especially for those of you who just kept encouraging me to keep going and not to give up, and not to fall back into mistrust or doubt or into old energies or older paradigms. I'm really, really grateful for you guys, and for your words and for your community. All right, let's see what's going on for the Divine Masculine. We have the Lovers. I'm going to stop and pause for a moment and just channel with this card because there's some energy that's coming through with this imagery here. I'm getting this return. It's almost like this return to innocence kind of energy. You see how they're naked with each other, this vulnerability, this intimacy, this purity, especially with the lily here. I'm hearing, when I first saw this card come out, I heard the choice. And it feels, the Lovers is a card of choice, making choices. And I do feel like there is a choice that's being made, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it's one or the other. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's about a specific relationship or a specific person, although it could be. This really feels like making a choice to return to the love, to return to the truth, to return to the innocence, the unconditional love of it all. And what I'm seeing is allowing yourselves to be vulnerable with each other, the mask really coming down. That's what I'm feeling with this energy here. Like the mask is really coming down between you two, and you're able to see each other so vulnerably, so intimately, in such depth. This true soul of each other. They're not wearing any clothes. There's nothing between them. That is the sanctity of your union. There being nothing between you, whether that's communicated or whether that is expressed or whether that is just energetically felt. It is understanding that only love exists between you because you are only love. And I feel like the Divine Masculine is having this awakening, having this understanding, this new insight about this connection, and making that choice. It's almost like it doesn't even feel like a choice because this is part of them. They just had to take down the mask to get to this part of them. And I feel like what's happening is they want to return to this kind of innocence. They want to return to the beginning. I'm also getting like very much like Adam and Eve kind of metaphor here. Take it as it resonates for you. I don't speak in religious structure because I personally don't believe in religion anymore. I think that what we experience transcends religion. But it's that kind of Edenic kind of energy. In the beginning, there was masculine and there was feminine. That kind of energy. In the beginning, there was masculine and there was feminine as one. As one. And you can call it the Christ Sophia consciousness, the Mother, Father, God. You can bring that down to the human structure and call it the male and the female as one, as partners, in the Hieros Gammas alchemical sacred marriage. That's what this feels like. It feels like recognizing the other, but not the other outside of oneself, the other as part of you. That's what this feels like. It feels like the masculine is undergoing a very deep crown chakra opening, very deep spiritual awakening and awareness. Even if they were spiritual before, this is a new level. You're always going through the ascension journey. You're always going to be awakening into new levels of yourself. And I feel like that's where the masculine might have been in resistance before. But now they're going through more understanding, more insight, more awareness, a deeper layer of their soul's evolution, a deeper layer of their spiritual growth. And I feel like it's a desire to because I feel like they're feeling their feminine. They're feeling their partner, they're feeling this energy, and there's a desire to come back to that oneness with you, to that sacred partnership with you, to have that sacred union with you, to go back to the beginning where you were as one. And you felt that in the beginning when you first met in your physical human experience. So this is a lot of higher energy, a lot of higher self stuff happening. But I feel like your masculine is going through some conscious awareness of this. You can take it as it resonates for your inner masculine as well. But I feel like the masculine energy, the masculine embodied energy, is really going through this conscious awakening, conscious awareness of this, where they're having new insight and having new understanding of the spiritual journey, of this connection, and wanting to, feeling it in the depths of their heart. I'm just feeling like in my solar plexus, like it just feels like such a deep-seated truth, such deep-seated intuition, and they're feeling this in the very core of their being, and a desire with that to go back to that beginning, to go back to that truth when you were one. And again, what I was trying to say was you were feeling this. Yeah, look, the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck, wanting to come forward and express this and express this love and share this love. And you felt this in the beginning when you were first united with your divine counterpart in the physical plane, when you had your first meeting or your first reunion, when you first had that soul recognition of each other, that familiarity, that spark, that home. You know the feeling, you know what it is, that recognition of this is a sacred connection, this is a very high level spiritual connection or spiritual bond. When you had that first connection, and that's what it was. It was almost like time. What I'm seeing is timelines just converged in that moment where you felt that unconditional love. In that moment, you were united. And then you were activated to ascension, and all the triggers and patterns and programs and societal conditioning came up. It's almost like what I'm seeing is this. It's like there's, let's use the dragons here. There's the divine masculine. Let's do it this way. There's divine feminine and divine masculine, and you had this meeting, right? And in that meeting, in the physical plane, you had that recognition, that soul recognition, and it felt just like you were in this sacred bubble of love and recognition of each other beyond the physical, on the soul plane, heart-to-heart recognition. And you might have gone out on dates, and you might have talked, and you might have conversed and had all this physical experience. But then you were activated to ascension, and it was almost like that honeymoon period was over, and you had a lot of triggers coming up, and those triggers just kind of almost felt like it came between you guys. The wounding, the patterns, the beliefs, the outdated energy, the old energy that was coming up between you guys, within you both individually, to be healed and to be cleared. But in the physical realm, it looked like separation, right? But you're never separate. You're always together on this journey, energetically together on this journey, making choices together on this journey for your soul's perspective, for your soul's evolution and soul's growth. It just looks like a lot of triggers. I go a lot into that in the Twin Flame Truth channeling. There's a whole playlist here on my channel of snippets of that workshop. The full workshop is available on my website, susandonspiritual.com. It's a 3-hour channeling that goes deep into all the teachings and everything that I've channeled here over the past 5 years about twin flames and sacred union. It's very, very in-depth. So I'm not going to get into it here, but you can check out the snippets. It's on a playlist here on the channel. That's what this was. It was like all that stuff. It wasn't necessarily you, but that's what this journey does. It activates you to clear all that old energy so that you can go through the process of ascension. Ascension is the healing journey. It's the remembrance of who you truly are on a soul level, clearing all that 3D structure, all that matrix stuff, right? So, and remembering how to embody your spiritualness within your human vessel, becoming the bridge between human and spirituality. And we talked about that in the recent channeling as well. So, in the beginning, when you first met, you had that soul recognition. It's almost like all these timelines converged in that moment when you were first reunited at the beginning of your ascension journey, at the beginning of your activation with each other, all these timelines were converging, and that's where you were having these soul remembrances. I've loved you before. I've loved you for lifetimes. I've loved you for an eternity. That's what the Divine Masculine really feels like they're beginning to understand and really feel into, and they want to go back to that beginning, not just the beginning of this physical journey, but the beginning of your union, the unconditional love between you, wanting to go back to when you were as one. Wow, I did not expect this tonight. Let's get one card for the Divine Feminine. Let's see what the Divine Feminine has to say. Divine Feminine feels like this Empress here with the Star card. It just feels like she is in her beauty, her power. She's in her place as the Divine Feminine, but it feels like a higher level. It doesn't quite feel like the High Priestess. It doesn't just feel like the Empress. It feels like all-encompassing. She is the universe. She is the stars. She is the cosmos. She is the very energy of the universe herself. And I feel like it's kind of reflecting back and saying, it's almost like what I'm getting is bringing that down to earth. So the Star card is traditionally all about wish fulfillment, hopes, dreams, desires, that wishing on a star kind of energy. This energy really feels more cosmic than that. It feels like as above, so below. As within, so without. The macro or the micro is part of the macro. It's the one part of the whole. I feel like the feminine is mirroring this energy with the Divine Masculine and building that bridge, helping to build that bridge or holding space for that bridge, is what they're correcting me with. More accurately, holding space for that bridge within the heart for this divine love. And I feel like she's holding space for the Divine Masculine. She has learned how to hold space within herself. That's part of this peace that she's been feeling. That's part of this really anchored in integration that she's been feeling. She's learned how to hold space not only for others, but within herself as well, as the balance of the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. She has understood her own inner union. Divine Masculine is beginning to understand that as well, but Divine Masculine approaches it from a very different way. Where the Divine Feminine really feels it energetically, the Divine Masculine brings it in the physical. And I feel like that's what he's waking up to, and that's the choice that he's making. He's feeling the feminine's energetic union. And so that's igniting his desire to come into this union with the Divine Feminine in the physical form for the creation of your life experience. I don't tend to channel a lot of 3D energy. What's your relationship going to look like? What's your family life going to look like? Unless it's really like a personal reading. We tend to go pretty high level in these readings. It's always been that way. This energy feels very physical, very relationship oriented, and your relationship looks whatever it is that it looks like for you. Those are your wishes, those are your desires. But you and your partner have the same desire. You and your partner have the same wish, ultimately. And I feel like Divine Feminine, you're holding space for that. And Divine Masculine is bringing that forth, making that choice for union in the physical life experience, bringing that forth, grounding that energy. That is what the masculine does. The masculine takes action in the physical form. And not just action as in like going to do something, but action as in how they ground the energy, how they build with that energy, how they create form with that energy. Divine Feminine feels the intuitiveness of that energy. The Divine Masculine then takes that energy and makes something of it. Or takes something, works with that energy and makes something of it. Let's put it that way. So this is you in your union working together. Divine Feminine is holding that space between realms being that embodiment of that bridge. And the masculine is meeting her in that energy, in that space. It's quite phenomenal. It's quite phenomenal, this energy. This is, I've never channeled this before. I've never heard this from anyone else before. This is truly, truly beautiful. And I feel like this is happening now. I feel like this is happening in real time. I feel like so much, we've gone through quantum shifts collectively, and so much is happening. And even if you're not seeing anything physical yet, this is all what's happening energetically. I began this reading by saying that some of you have shared with me that you're coming into communication and conversations or reunions, meetups, things like that. Those who aren't, understand that this is all still laying the foundation energetically. Everybody is playing a part in this puzzle. The whole of collective is playing a part in this puzzle, because understand too that that's part of the unity consciousness, that we might be one segment of a collective, of the greater collective, but this segment of the collective is holding that space for the rest, or helping to transmute the rest to create that greater shift. And there's so much that is happening energetically, so much of a foundation that is being laid energetically, so that when you do come together, it is more harmonious, it is healthier, it is more aware, it is more conscious. It is this beautiful union of unconditional love. Okay, what's going on with the Divine Masculine? Where's their energy now? The Hermit, they're coming out of that cave. They're coming out of the cave. Oh, I have this all upside down. I'm hearing self-isolation. Yeah, they're coming out of this energy of self-isolation. And this doesn't just have to be withdrawn from communication, from, socializing, from whatever. This feels like an energetic isolation, where maybe they have kind of gone within, where they have kind of held back themselves, where they were hiding behind a mask or hiding in that cave of themselves. This is energetic. This might have actually lasted for years. So it's not just where there was lack of communication within your collective. This feels like a sense of isolation. I'm getting that with the Nine of Cups, where they were holding themselves back in a sense of self-isolation, perhaps even for years, perhaps even based on their trauma. I'm hearing that trauma is just an emotional energy. I don't want to say just, but trauma is not just a circumstance or a situation. Trauma is anything that dysregulates you, anything that is emotionally harmful for you or emotionally suppressive for you. So I feel like they were in this energy of self-isolation, possibly even self-protection due to this trauma, whatever this was. Could even be coming up from childhood, that they were experiencing this trauma, this pain, this wounding, whatever this was. They had entered into a period of self-isolation where they were holding themselves back. But now I do feel like they have learned within the stillness of themselves, within the space of themselves, learning how to trust their inner guidance, their inner wisdom. And masculines hold a lot of inner wisdom. It's that Merlin energy. And so what I feel is they are learning how to create, and not in a manipulative way or a controlling way that they had been in before, but understanding what true intuition is, what true guidance is, what true creation energy is, because they're honoring the feminine, or beginning to honor the feminine. This is their own self-mastery. They're manifesting from a higher place, or creating from a higher place, because their consciousness has shifted. Divine Feminines. Eight of Wands. Divine Feminines, you have a hold on yourself. Yeah. and the Ten of Swords. I'm not getting any negative energy from this. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, this is the balance. So even though we have some pretty difficult cards here, the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords, I'm not feeling this energy. Divine Feminines, I feel like this energy of you overcoming, you balancing this out, justice coming in for you. I'm going to start with this Eight of Wands energy here. I feel like you have a hold of yourself. You're recognizing your power. You're recognizing your strength. You're recognizing your magic. And anywhere where there are storms, it's like from the storm, you're able to create. You're able to turn it around so that the storm doesn't kind of suck you into a new world and into a lower vibration. You're just like, you know what? I can control the storm within myself. Or I can control the storm by controlling myself. Now, understand very clearly that this is not about controlling other people or controlling external circumstances. This is all within yourself. But it's like anytime there is like a storm within you, anytime where there is tower moments or triggers, you're in a place of just pure balance. You've learned how to hold space for yourself again. This is controlling yourself. This is controlling your emotions. It's just mastery. It's mastery. That's what this is. It's like self-empowerment and self-mastery. And it's like, you know, this tornado here can threaten to kind of suck you in and topple you over. It's like, you know what they're showing me? They're helping me. They're saying, Susan, wait a minute. We can give you a metaphor to help you articulate this. Okay, thank you. They're showing me, you know how when you're in the ocean and there's a huge wave that comes and it topples you over and all of a sudden you go under and you don't quite know which way is up for a minute and it feels really scary and really confusing and you're trying to figure out which way is up and you're going every which way because the power of the external wave is so strong. Well, Spirit's coming in and saying, you've mastered that. You know which way is up. You've gone within yourself. You've trusted your intuition. You've gone through the underworld of yourself. You've gone through the deepest chasms of yourself to understand the balance. This is your self-mastery, holding that space now, being in control of yourself, recognizing that balance, not letting the storm take you over, but recognizing I am the storm. That's what this energy feels like. You see how all the wands are kind of going every which way? It feels like magic. It feels like she's saying, you know what? I'm not going to feel scattered. I'm not going to leak my energy anymore. I'm going to bring it back to myself. I'm going to center myself. I'm going to balance myself. And in this state of connection, I know that I am one with God. I know that I am one with myself. And within that place, I am balanced, I am centered, and I am home. It's no longer letting anything, it's not that you don't get triggered, but it's that you know how to hold that space for yourself. You know how to handle that now. You know how to not let yourself abandon yourself or betray yourself or get you off balance in any way to make you stumble. This is this energy of like self-control here. And I know it's a very non-traditional meaning of Eight of Wands. That's not what the Eight of Wands means at all, but this is the energy that I'm getting. And with the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords here, in the past, I feel like there had been a big energy of self-deception, self-betrayal. You might have even been betrayed by others, or there might have been a lot of deception within your connection or within life for you. But I feel like that's where your justice is really being formed, and where you're just standing in your heart center and balanced out. There's also this energy of forgiveness that's coming through here, where there might have been a lot of heartbreak and pain, some endings, some deception, some secrets. I feel like you're standing in your heart center, standing in that balance, and there's this energy of forgiveness. I want to get a little bit more for the Divine Feminine and see a little bit more about what this energy is about. Tell me more for the Divine Feminine. Yeah, Queen of Wands, you're standing in your strength. You're standing in your power. You're standing in your fire. See how that dragon looks like a phoenix here? That's what this feels like. It feels like you had, like I said, gone through the underworld of yourself, gone through the deepest depths of who you were. You have looked at every shadow, acknowledged every shadow, brought them all to light. And from that death, you've experienced a rebirth. You've been reborn within yourself. You've been reborn as this. This star energy feels so much like magic. It feels like High Priestess and Empress combined. It feels like goddess energy. It just feels so incredibly beautiful and powerful and divine. It feels like the Divine Feminine. This Phoenix energy. Tell me more about the Divine Feminine. Tell me more about this energy for the Divine Feminine. Anything else we need to know? The Queen of Pentacles, yes. Completely balanced in this energy of strength. It's almost like all the queens here. Completely balanced in this energy of strength. But what I love about this is very grounded as well. It's not like you are completely in the spiritual. You are grounded in your human experience. You're embodying this. That's what this Queen of Pentacles really feels like. You know, you are connected to the higher realms, to the spiritual realms, but you're also embodying that within the earthly plane, very grounded to the earth as well, within your human vessel, within your human experience. This is you being the very bridge between your human self and your spiritual self, not one or the other. We can so often on this journey get trapped in spiritual ego, where we're, in constant meditation, and we are in constant healing mode, and in constant, just up there in the spiritual realms. But then we forsake our own humanity. We forget what it is to be part of the world, to be part of humanity. On the other extreme, we can get this is where we were before our spiritual awakening. We were so caught up in the human routines, and the matrix is what we call it. The everyday stuff that just holds us back from recognizing that we're more than human, we are soul. But ascension shows us the balance. Ascension shows us that sacred embodiment. And this Divine Feminine is where you are. You are in your strength, in your power, having been reborn, but in a very beautiful, lovingly grounded way. Nine of Cups, bottom of the deck. All right, let's see. How is the Divine Masculine feeling? I'm going to stick with the tarot. How's the Divine Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine? How's the Divine Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine? Two of Cups, exactly. Wanting to reunite. And I'm also hearing wanting to offer. And it doesn't feel like an offer of like a tangible offer. It feels like offering of oneself. It feels like this. It feels like stripping down, laying one's soul bare. Emotionally vulnerable, emotionally expressive, emotionally intimate, spiritually connected, wanting to offer where they were holding themselves back from really participating in connection, or really participating in partnership or relationship, from really participating within the sacred union where they were holding themselves back, now wanting to offer themselves to be as one in connection with you. How is Divine Masculine feeling about this connection? I feel like you're just on their mind constantly, Divine Feminines. And you've been there. Like you feel that energy too. It just feels like love. What's going on with the Divine Masculine? Yeah, they're ending a painful cycle, a karmic cycle. It took them an entire journey to get here. Just like it took you, Divine Feminine. It took them an entire journey to get to this place, but they had to go through that journey. Remember how I said that that's what I was feeling? So take this as your own inner masculine, but if you're experiencing this with a counterpart, your counterpart is your inner masculine just embodied in another person. That's what this journey really is all about. But remember how I was saying how I realized that my, the way that I was feeling, how my person felt like a stranger, but not at all. And it felt like the past was lifetimes ago, even though it might have just been months ago, or a year ago, or weeks ago, or days ago. But it feels like a lifetime ago. It's because you're different, and hopefully they're changing and transforming. And everything is shifting so much because we're going through this ascension process. Well, what I was feeling was, it's almost like it's coming back to the beginning. back to the beginning, like when we were reunited, when we had our first meeting, that recognition energy that I was talking about before. We just had to go through this journey to come back to the beginning. This is the second time they're reminding me of this. If you have not read the book The Alchemist, it has been coming up in my channelings for months now, and even in my coaching sessions for months now. And I'm going to give you guys a spoiler alert, not a whole spoiler, but Santiago, the shepherd, he sets off on this journey, and he has to go through this entire journey only to find himself back where he started. That's exactly what this energy is. It's like you go through this whole journey only to return where you started with each other, but you have more wisdom. You have learned more lessons. You have evolved more. The person that I am right here, right now, is not who I was back in 2017, November of 2017, when my counterpart and I first met. My story is long with him. We've known each other since elementary school. We had a date in 2016, and then we actually reunited again in 2017, and that's when we were activated to ascension. That activation, who I am right now, is so many light years away from who I was back then. Just my very energy and countenance has shifted and grown and evolved. But I had to go through this journey to learn so many lessons about myself. And that's what my partner really activated within me. Really, through all the triggers and all the shit, really helped me to learn and grow within myself, to see where was I abandoning myself for other people, especially my partner. Where was I giving myself away? Where was I overgiving, overcompensating, and my masculine energy too much? Because I didn't feel safe. Where was my wounds? Where was my trauma that needed to be healed and brought to the surface? Where was I neglecting myself? Where was I rejecting myself? Where was my inner child not feeling nurtured? So many lessons and so much growth came from this journey. And it's like, it feels like now we're coming back to the beginning again, but we're carrying all of this with us. We're a new evolved energy. We had to go through this journey because there was unconditional love in the beginning, but it was almost like we couldn't sustain it because of all the soul sludge, all of the conditioning, the programming that was still activated within us, that was still running within us. And this journey was all about clearing that and healing that and shifting out of that, evolving out of that. And so it's like now we're coming into the greatest full circle moment there ever was, coming back around again, and just in that unconditional love, where that energy is now able to be sustained because you have evolved, because you have grown, and because you have connected more deeply to yourself and to God. Divine Masculine is going through that journey and ending that phase of their journey to come back around to themselves. Divine Feminine, you've done that too. Strength at the bottom of the deck and the Ace of Pentacles. I'm feeling patience with this. I feel like this Ace of Pentacles, seeing this in the physical, is going to take some time. Now, time is not important. It's non-linear. When I say time is just a human construct. It could be weeks, it could be days, it could be months, it could be... I don't feel like it's going to be years. I really don't. I feel like this eclipse energy, the solstice energy is going to be really, really just pivotal for these transformations, for these sacred unions, for this collective that I resonate with and that I channel for. I really don't feel like it's going to be long. All it takes is an energy shift. That's all it takes. And I really feel like even though some patience is required, it's almost like they're saying patience is required because don't expect this tomorrow, but it could happen tomorrow. Just allow yourself the unfolding. Allow the unfolding. That's where the patience is. Patience is not about waiting. Patience is about that space, that stillness between trust and faith, where you allow yourself to surrender. I do feel like this new beginning is here for the Divine Masculines. I'm hearing the words claim, so I do feel like this is them claiming that for themselves, choosing that for themselves, and taking action for themselves, guided action for themselves, in order to make this a tangible reality. I do feel like masculines are putting pieces into place. Maybe this is better finances, maybe this is new jobs, Maybe this is better balance within themselves, mending relationships, whatever this is. I do feel like they're putting pieces of their physical life into place in order for all of this to play out. All right. Divine Feminine, how are you feeling about your Divine Masculine? Three of Wands, it's like you can feel it coming. It's like Three of Wands is traditionally that energy of ships coming in. It's like you can feel it coming, and it's like she's drawing it in. It's like she's guiding it in, drawing it in. Like that's her magnetism. She's helping it along. She's guiding the masculine home. She is the lighthouse, is what I'm hearing. And she can feel it. And again, she's holding that space for herself and for others and for the sacred union. She's holding that space. She can feel it. Ten of Wands. Divine Feminines, if you are in an energy where you are holding space and almost like putting in the effort or holding all the responsibility or bearing the burden of this connection are two different things. It's a very different energy. So if you're still in an energy where you are bearing the burden or the responsibility of the whole of your connection, Spirit's saying, let it down. Let it down. You don't have to anymore. A long time ago, we channeled with a Ten of Wands that what union is the Divine Feminine had been carrying this relationship, this connection for so long, and it was so heavy. But what I saw was the Divine Masculine coming up beside her and taking some of that load off. Equal, like, so she's carrying 5 wands and he's carrying 5 wands. And what happens is it just feels light as a feather then. If you're carrying the entirety of your connection, of this energy, then it just weighs you down. But the masculine steps up and takes some of it, and then it's like light as a feather. It's like you're not carrying anything at all. That's that equal balance. It's a balancing of the scales that's happening. But Divine Feminine, I'm hearing you have to allow yourself to receive that support and receive that help from the masculine energy and put down some of the weight. You don't have to control it. You don't have to take it all on. How is she feeling about the Divine Masculine? 3 of Swords. I'm not feeling this energy. Could be that it's mending. Give me a clarifying card. I'm not feeling this energy towards the masculine. Let me get a clarifying card, please. 3 of Swords. How is Divine Feminine feeling towards the masculine? There's something about this image here. The Wheel of Fortune. There's something about this. Give me a second. I want to see what this is. There's something about this inkwell here and how it's spilled. And they're giving me the energy of like the 5 of Cups, like spilled milk, right? And it feels, oh, that's what it is. If there was heartbreak within your connection, it might have felt like it was permanent. It might feel like it's irreconcilable. Irreconcilable. Is that the word? Anyway, it might feel like it's impossible. How are you ever going to come back around again? But it's part of fate. It's part of destiny. The wheel is turning. The universe has a hand in this. And we get that a lot with the energy of your union is protected. Your union is guided. So if it feels like, allow yourself to let go of some of that control. If you're trying to control, how is this ever going to happen? Let go of that. Just surrender and just allow it to unfold. That's part of holding space for yourself. Just allow it to unfold and know that everything is healing, everything is mending. If it feels like there's like a stain, if it feels like, let that just be a reminder of everything that you've gone through to become who you are. Let that be a reminder of the journey that you've been through, but also know that you can pick up that pen and write a new story, write a new future. Your present doesn't have to be dictated by your past, and your future is created by your present. So you have the power to mend your heart. You have the power to heal. So it feels like you have no idea how this union is going to come to pass. Number one, Allow the masculine to do their work as well, to be on their journey as well. Allow yourself to receive from the masculine. Allow the masculine to take their steps that they're guided to take towards this connection. You don't have to bear the burden that you have been. Especially if you've been putting forth most of that effort. It feels like you're putting forth most of that effort in your connection. Know that it is a fated connection. Know that it is being guided. Trust in the energy. Allow the energy. That doesn't mean that you just sit back and wait. Go about your life. Love your life. Enjoy your life. And be open to the energy as it comes in. And again, we've been channeling that for some, it's going to be a high-level soulmate that comes in. For others, it's going to be their masculine who might look a little bit different than the masculine that they thought it was. And for others, yeah, it's going to be their actual masculine. Well, how do I say that? The masculine that they had been on this journey with, just in a transformed energy. Everybody's going to be in a little bit of a different path, but it does not make your journey less than. It does not make your journey lacking. It is going to be absolutely perfect for you. Absolutely perfect for you. Everything that your heart desires. But you have to have this level of trust. Trust that it is all still unfolding. Trust that it is all coming into being. Your union is coming into being. All right, you guys, I think that's going to be it for today. We'll have some written channelings over the weekend, so make sure that you're staying tuned to the community tab, to Instagram and Facebook for all of that. And let me know how this resonates with you. Give it a thumbs up if it resonates. And yeah, let me know. I'm sending you all so much love and so much light, and we'll see you next time. Bye.